Alright, welcome back to the League Race. This time we're back with FTRL for week number 5 rather. This is the special week. The special week, I actually missed this last season, but the special week involves the 2 nights, Thursday and Friday, where the GT1 and GT2 drivers can kind of come together, and the GT2 guys are on softs and the GT1 guys on mediums. Now, with the way this works this season, there are a little bit more. There's more GT1 drivers here than GT2. The GT2 drivers here today are Mikey. Oh no, so not Mikey. He's covering for Will. Oblivion, I think. Oh, sorry, there's a few of them. We'll come across them as we come along. But I got to design the car for this event, and you'll see, because Tom was away. So we're in the Aston Martin DBR9. And yeah, I got to do the car. And Tom, before the season started, Tom had did like a prototype of our Jaeger dive bomb car in white, and that looked sick. So I thought I'd follow the inspiration. The gold didn't really work out. I wanted to do white and gold. That didn't work. So you'll see what I actually ended up coming up with in the end in the sec here. So I'll say more about the special event in a sec. Its rules are slightly different for this one. So I mean, I'm not especially versed in making liveries, so, you know, our car has a smile on the front. There's a nice little smile. I made the smile on Tom's wider. So obviously we got red Jaeger on the top, on the rear wing. The only stipulation was our rear wing for GT1 had to be red, and the blue wing for GT2 had to be blue. There's SpongeBob, and there's I got some stickers and shit as well. So Tom's one was real men have curves, I think, but not an awful livery I thought for it. I don't really make a lot of them. Anyways, last lap of qualifying, just to jump back into it, and this was a good lap. You know, the 2:19.8 was my best lap in qualifying here. My best lap overall is a 2:19.1. So let's see what we can do. Difficult to get the car nailed in. I wasn't really a fan of the car. I was going to be honest. It's a bit front end limited, and I like using the lower gears, and you can't use first gear in this, and second gear is difficult at times as well. So we did improve. It was a big improvement, but I didn't move up a lot as a result. But only a 10 behind Tom. That's an outstanding effort from Rom. Dominic in third. We raced in the endurance event not too long ago. He's subbing in for Aaron. Before we start the race here, by the way, I've noticed some of the view numbers on some of these races are up recently, and I don't understand why. So I'm curious to know who watches these and what do you like about it, I guess, if anything. Anyway, so 28 laps, 4 times fuel wear, 4 times tyres, GT1 on soft, or mediums, GT2 on softs, starting from P7. Away we go. I never get the starts right, man. I really need to look into some starts. I know each car is different, but I really should get better with that. We got jumped by Biggles immediately. We got Blue Flag on our inside, who's our GT2 teammate from last season. No missing the tic-tac of Chubbs in front. So it's not been the best start. We're in 9th, so we've lost 2 places already. That's annoying. My starts are arguably now my weakest part of my game, so to speak. All sorts of kerfufflement up here. Tom and Callum made contact up through Radion. There's a penalty for Blue Flag. We got 2 or 3 or 4 wide. It's a bit of a mess. We're just going to file into the racing line and hope for the best. Try and pull up alongside. Try and sneak into the space where we can drive around the car. Can't really get around Blue Flag. There's a contact, and yeah, as a result, that's going to allow Oblivion to sneak up the inside and kind of shoved out a little bit there. So it's one of those things where the start wasn't great, but the positions losses through Lake Com, weren't helpful either. So yeah, that was tough. We lost a few positions, a couple of laps, and then a couple from the RA start itself. So anyway, so we just slide in here. We should get Blue Flag. So we'll see how we get on with that. But yeah, kind of sloshing in. It's a long race. We have to get 10 laps, then 9 laps, then 9 laps. So the car does about 9 laps if you're conservative. So you're going to have to do a little bit of fuel saving to get to 10. So no better sense to do this in the first one. We get by Blue Flag there, who has to serve his penalty. So we're up to 10th. really, I knew the pace was there, especially having seen qualifying. I was like, oh, the pace is actually better than I thought, because I wasn't confident after the in practice. Like I was like, oh, I'm not doing fast, and I was in the lobby with Rom early in the week, and he was very quick. I tried to sneak up there, but there was nothing really doing, and then it's a bit opportunistic from my side. I'm gonna be honest. Fuck is right. So anyway, we'll need to let Marley back through. So I'm gonna take a bit of a wider line into turn 1 here. And yeah, so he goes back through. So yeah, I was just trying to be opportunistic. I wasn't, I do feel urgency to clear some of these cars. I think I am quicker than at this part of the race. This being one of them. Although Marley is on one of the ones on soft, so there's a disparity between the tires there. But he goes off in a big way, has a big moment, and I believe he hits into the wall. So we do gain that position in the end. And there's a bit of space to Oblivion in front. Again, just short shifting through some of these straights and such, just to save fuel where we can. Now we're getting Oblivion. I decide, right, I would like to get by Oblivion this lap. Oh, the dirty air through Blanchimont is rough. We got Blue Flag right behind us as well. So I knew it was going to be a lot layer on the brakes in Oblivion, so I go to the inside and try and sneak up through. We pull alongside, Oblivion takes a little bit wider line in, and there's a bit of contact on the second part of that chicane, and that's going to allow Blue Flag through. This was actually pretty critical to our race, this moment right here, and you'll see why later on. But big V for Valvoline, the Vaseline as I call them, the Vaseline boys, all lubed up and ready to go. So we've lost position into P10. That's a bit annoying, but we'll get Oblivion back next lap. He's got a penalty, and we're behind Blue Flag then. So again, we're just looking to try and save fuel, and we just, the important thing is you have to sacrifice a bit of this sometimes. You have to sacrifice a bit of pace just to do what you need to do, whether that's to save the tires or save fuel. It can be tough watching some of these cars go, but you do what you gotta do. You can see lap 9 here into lap 10. You can see with the fuel I'm just about borderline, so it is going to be touch and go for this last lap as well. We cross the line, it's just one lap still, and you could sneak in on 0.0 before it actually runs out, but it is going to be tight. So anyways, we pit then lap 10. Tom and these chaps up here are getting our 10 lap stint out of the way now, and yeah, look, you're literally running on fumes. You do have to manage it. The tires, it's one of those where you need to change the tires as well, because if you could save time and not change them, you would. But anyways,
just keep an eye on it.
We have to. So now I got my maths mixed up here, and I kept saying end of lap 20 because we just started lap 11, and I was like, right, I need to get 9 laps. So yeah, my math is not very good, so I felt kind of stupid about this later on, and you will see that to devastating effect, this confusion. Anyways, there goes Blue Flag. So he had the 1 lap undercut. We do come out in front of Biggles, though. That's important. So we're behind Blue Flag, but I was fuel saving that first stint. I thought, yeah, we should be able to get by again. Lap 15, Dominic has realised in this second stint that he's wildly underfueled he's widely underfueled the car, so he's gonna have to do these next 2 stints of fuel saving. So he's very much compromised after his first stint. So I'm gonna look to try and follow Blue Flag through. The line opens up to the inside, and I go through it, and I knew I couldn't lose much time behind Dominic. I don't think it would take a long time to overtake him, but anyway, we dropped that, and yeah, we're still behind.
Chubbs is on the 10 this lap.
We're behind.
Is it 28 laps?
28, yeah.
Yeah, so this is where Tom and we were talking about this conundrum with the fuel. So
It will be 9 laps.
we actually need fuel. We could actually pit at the end of this lap,
10-9.
I believe. I look at like maths is not my strong suit, man, and I had to do a maths exam to get into my current college course. So I don't know how I managed it with equations just like this. So my confusion, right? I thought I had to go to lap 20, which was 10 laps, so I was wrong. But I did so much fuel saving behind Blue Flag and the such that I saved 2 laps of fuel, and I had no idea I had saved so much fuel, and I was getting the maths all mixed up. So we're boxing the end of. My plan is to box the end of lap 20. In reality, I need to box at the end of lap 19. That's what we need to do to get 9 laps. Otherwise, it's an 8 lap stint. So I've saved so much fuel here. I got so distracted with this conversation. Coming out of the bus stop, a routine corner. I lose the back end, try and catch it. This was such an important save. Before I've lost a car there. But that was really annoying. And I was really annoyed with this, with what was happening here. And it was my own, completely my own fault. So, anyways, 6 seconds behind blue flag here. You're going to see, you can see the guys like with their fuel percentages in front. I had 10%. I'd saved so much fuel I could have done another lap. Like that's why I was so confused. That so I was going to make so much time at this in this pit stop, and I was going to jump Simon after all that. So, anyways, we have a lot of work to do now because we're not going to be we're going to pull back some time on the fuel, but you know, I've got fuel to burn here at the end of the race as well. So it's full send. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. It's full send. We're absolutely going full send for this last stint. It is revving the engine. We have enough fuel. You know, we're going for it. The gap is 3 seconds essentially. So we dig into that. Over these next 9 laps, we dig into that. We dig into that gap. But overtaking here is difficult. You need the run. You need a good run. And I never got a good run. I had one half chance. It wasn't anything concrete because Simon went defensive. Lap 24, we're within the slip now. So I knew I had to buy my time. I knew I was much better on fuel. I could rev it. I can use higher speed. But Simon gets up on the curb at Pouon, compromises run. We go around the outside. We get that move done. And that's a big one. So a mistake kind of put us in this situation where we ended up behind, and a mistake has put us back in front. But we had some good pace of reel in that time as well. So I was confident that having reeled in 3 seconds in the space of a few laps, we'd be able to get it done. Fuel was a bit tight in the end because I spent a bit trying to pull away a little bit, and I did get out of the slip, and that was the main thing. I never dropped Simon, so his pace was very, very good, and I had to manage it a bit at the end there. But anyways, Tom finishes 3rd, and we finished 3rd and 5th, and yeah, ultimately the mistake behind Simon didn't actually cost me. Rom was way too quick for me today, so we got some good points in the end. And the GT2 guys who did Lago Maggiore on the Thursday, Homer finished 5th and Royson had a difficult one in 13th. So we scored the second. I think we were second. We scored the second. Actually, we scored 15 points from the special week because this is just a team event. It's just team event. So no driver standings for this. It's just a team. And Team Valvoline scored the most points in the special week. They got 35 points for their efforts on the week. We got 15, as you can see there. So they jump us by. They're ahead by 5 points now. But we're in a good little margin. We've got a nice little margin back to Team Tactics and Sneak, who will be back, I'm sure, with Witchell pretty soon. So looking pretty good. Our form into the season has been pretty good, so I'm not too worried about it. I wish, I couldn't have done much more, to be fair. I know the team couldn't do much more. So look, I'm happy enough. We drove what we did, and we did well on the night itself at Spa, and that's all I could do really. So it was an interesting race, and it went much better than I thought. I didn't expect P5, especially after being P11 early on. I wasn't quite sure how things would even out, but anyways, it ended up working out nicely, and yeah, P5 was the maximum we were going to get after that, even with the mathematical miscalculation and mistake there. So, anyways, that's going to do it for this week's edition of FTRL Week 5 special week at Spa in the Aston Martin DBR9. Not going to be too upset to see the back of that car again. I just don't like it's got a good top end speed. I don't like the front end of it. I don't like the gear ratio. It's a little bit not to my particular liking. I like a car that can go low gears and have a bit bite in the corners, and I know we're on mediums, but the Aston wasn't quite to my liking with these particular settings. But anyway, next up it's going to be Road Atlanta. We haven't been here for a long time. It's actually our first proper league race back on GT7 in the McLaren with the Milkas. So yeah, it's been quite a while, so looking forward to getting back to there. It's a tough track, quite a short one, but yeah, a fun one nevertheless, I hope. So, and it's a sprint format as well, so yeah, 2 races to come there. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and until next time.